All right, everybody. Good afternoon to you. We're so glad that you could join us here on this wonderful Monday evening. I'm Savannah Louie here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. We've got your top 5 stories for this evening. We're going to run through really fast, most of them surrounding here in the metro Atlanta area. We're going to start off with some serious stuff and then get into one really fun, exciting story here at the end for you. But first, this is a story that is developing right now, and it's one that we've had our eye on for quite some time here in the metro Atlanta area, and it really has impacts all over the country. What I've put on your screen for you right now is a letter that has just come out hours ago from Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis surrounding former President Donald Trump. Turns out we are going to have to wait until after summer, or until this summer rather, to find out if former President Donald Trump will be charged in an interference investigation here in Georgia. That's what this letter here is all about. You see it right here on your screen. Now, it's pretty lengthy. I'm going to go through some of the highlights for you, but basically, Fulton County District Attorney sent a letter to the sheriff today, and she says an announcement will come between July 11th and September 1st on whether Trump will be indicted or not. Now, in this letter, Willis says that she wants to give the sheriff sufficient time to coordinate with local, state, and federal agencies to ensure that law enforcement is ready to protect the public. We have this entire letter you can read for yourself. Again, it is very, very lengthy here. There is quite a bit here to go through, but if you want to read that for yourself, you can find that at atlantanewsfirst.com. You can also download our Atlanta News First app for the entire letter to read in full. But basically, the main point here is that we'll know this summer, again, between July 11th and September 1st, on whether Trump will face an indictment here in Fulton County. All right, let's move along. I have your next story here, and this is a pretty interesting story that could impact thousands of people here in Fulton County. A new resolution proposed by the city leaders rather would make it so if you face a fine for marijuana, you could easily pay it off online. Atlantans accused of marijuana-related crimes could soon have an easier way to take care of their issue here. Anyone charged with a low-level marijuana offense would have to appear before an Atlanta Municipal Court judge right now, but that new resolution, which was introduced today, would urge the court to allow people to pay their fines online. This is what a lot of people do with things like traffic tickets. It would only cost about $75. Now, on top of clearing case backlogs in the court system, one city council member says it would also take the stress off of people facing those charges. So another story that we have tonight that's pretty interesting that we've been following for some time now, and this is something that we've had our eye on for years now, as we've followed the discussion over the proposed Atlanta Public Safety Training Facility in DeKalb County. A lot of people are very heated up about this. We have followed protests that have gotten fairly aggressive and violent at times, including one protester who was shot and killed while allegedly protesting at that site just a few months ago. But the reason why we're bringing this up tonight is because now students are getting involved, and students are saying, we don't want this site here. And so I want to show you what we saw today. This is video here as Metro Atlanta college students are calling for construction at that controversial Atlanta Public Safety Training Center to stop. Emory University students have sounded off against the development. Critics are calling the development, by the way, Cop City. Now, we've tracked similar rallies also happening at Georgia State, Morehouse, Spelman, and Agnes Scott College. Now, remember, back in January, an activist, Manuel Tehran, was killed by state troopers at the site of the future training facility. Troopers say Tehran fired first, but there's no body camera video of that shooting because troopers do not wear them. Now, this still needs approval by the full council before it shifts to state lawmakers to execute this requirement. As we learn more about how this is all going to fall out, we will, of course, keep you updated on the latest developments with that. All right, I want to get to another story here. This past year, in general, we've seen a lot of anti-Semitic crime and problems here, not just in the Atlanta area, but across the country. And today, unfortunately, we saw another instance of anti-Semitism, in which case a slew of flyers were distributed in the Lake Claire neighborhood. That's just about 5 miles away from Atlanta. These flyers were distributed in Lake Claire, also Candler Park, along with Kirkwood here. And I'm going to show you guys a report by our Amanda Rose, who spoke with some of those neighbors about what happened and what they're hoping for as police try to figure out who is responsible for this.
I think the best place for those messages are in the trash can.
Horrified and angry is how Brian Davis feels seeing flyers like this targeting the Jewish and transgender community in his East Atlanta neighborhood.
I think we need to start treating people better. And I encourage whoever did this to go out and find a Jewish person or a black person or a gay person and befriend them.
The flyers, which were discovered this past weekend, reportedly in the Lake Claire, Candler Park, and Kirkwood neighborhoods, appear to blame Jewish people for the rise of so-called transgenderism, call the religion satanic, and worse. Atlanta police tell us their Homeland Security unit is investigating. At this time, the agency is not aware of any criminal acts related to the flyers, but do plan to increase patrols where the flyers were found. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens posting this statement on social media Monday. I am deeply disturbed by reports of hateful material targeting Jewish and trans people being distributed in our city. Hate has no place in Atlanta. APD is investigating and I will closely monitor.
Cannot be up to the vulnerable communities to save themselves.
Early February, anti-Semitic flyers were found in Sandy Springs and Dunwoody, some in the front yard of Jewish State Representative Esther Panich.
It just never ends. We're being targeted and harassed.
She urged Georgia legislators to pass a bill defining the term anti-Semitism because words can lead to violent acts. The bill stalled in the state Senate.
We just need to be more open and kind.
For now, homeowner Caroline Joe points out that leaving anonymous hateful flyers is not only narrow-minded, it's a sign of weakness.
It's kind of cowardly, actually, to just come into a neighborhood and distribute information like that.
Tucked into a corner at the Kirkwood Library.
Sorry about that. I think my audio went out there. What I was saying, though, is that I'm excited to share this last story with you here. And what you're looking at on your screen is a sweet story that we've got. A Metro Atlanta substitute teacher is spending his own time helping kids create music. A lot of them doing it without spending any money at all. It's this teacher right here. His name is Reginald Peterson, and he founded the nonprofit Jubal Art House. He teaches kids at the Kirkwood Library. He brings music to those kids who might not have access to instruments and tools, which can be pretty pricey. Students get to learn all about notation, time signatures, scales, and music technology. And Peterson says that music education should be free. His only requirement is that these kids are dedicated to music, learning, and attending each lesson, which honestly sounds like a pretty good deal to me. We have that full report, by the way, on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. It was done by our wonderful, talented reporter, Sawyer Bussey. She did a great job with it. So if you're interested in diving deeper into that one, just head to AtlantaNewsFirst.com. But right now it is 8:10. You know what that means? I'm going to show you guys a beautiful picture of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium with a gorgeous sunset in the distance. And you know, if you were feeling inspired by that music story that we just did, I want you to warm up those vocal cords because we have got a very special birthday in the house. We've got a special 30th birthday, new decade.
Giving away all my personal details.
New decade.
You're going to get a real show tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Meteorologist Cutter Martin here. Cutter, happy birthday. I would sing to you, but no one wants to hear that.
Well, no, you said you're a music lover. Go ahead.
I am. I was talking about other people's music. I'm hoping people are singing at home to you.
Okay, maybe.
I'll give you a solo after the show.
Yeah, and I'll record it. Anyways, back to the forecast. Transitioning to nice weather here. Maybe my birthday coming up, but I'm going to hopefully be the gift giver. It's pretty nice out there. Weather has no real issues as far as tonight, this evening is concerned. Again, overall looking pretty decent. Thank you for tuning in and for watching. I'm Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin. Thank you for tuning in and for checking out the First Alert forecast. We'll go ahead and dive on into it. Day-by-day forecast, we're kind of going to jump right into the extended portion of the First Alert forecast. Wednesday, our first alert with a likely chance, 50% chance of rain in the First Alert forecast. And then as we go into our Thursday, possibly an even wetter day across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, a greater chance of showers. And maybe Thursday, some thunderstorms, hence the other First Alert. I think Thursday, the closest to being a total washout. And then as we get into our Friday, maybe a little bit of a break, but shortly thereafter, as we get into Saturday, maybe lingering into Sunday, more rain back in the First Alert forecast. Good evening, Michael, Classy, and Carlston. Stan Hatcher on Atlanta News First, the Facebook page. Again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we are live streaming on many platforms right now: Roku, Amazon Fire, AtlantaNewsFirst.com, and the First Alert weather app, Atlanta News First app, and if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, the best places to be will be YouTube Live, as well as on Atlanta News First Plus on Facebook. And again, we're checking in. Michael Baxter also chatting on YouTube. Mr. J, hello to you. Thanks for watching. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty part of the forecast now that we have everyone tuning in and listening. First alerts begin Wednesday. There's another one Thursday, a third on Saturday. Could be extended into Sunday, depending on the exact timing of this next system. Though right now, this evening, overnight, tonight, we're quiet, not tracking any rain. North Georgia, temperatures under a mostly clear sky now, really starting to cool off. 53 in Blairsville. Keep in mind the sun has just set. So we'll drop off even quicker, deeper into the evening. 58 in Canton, 63 in Atlanta. Mid-60s LaGrange, Locust Grove, low to mid-60s Covington and Athens, 61 in Rome. So, yeah, it's a cool evening. Again, sun is now setting officially. Temperatures back into the mid-50s. That's inside the perimeter by 11 p.m. And I think upper 40s by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Keep in mind, if you live outside of the perimeter, I-285, and especially if you live further north in Georgia, you will cool at a quicker rate than those of us that do live in Atlanta proper. A lot of pavement, kind of trapping in some of that warmth of the afternoon. We managed upper 60s, and it will take a little bit longer to cool off as we go into the evening. So just keep that in mind. A little cooler, a little quicker further outside of the city of Atlanta proper. We're bottoming out in the 30s and 40s. Dalton, Rome, Canton, Blairsville. Early tomorrow morning between 6 and 8 a.m. 45 Gainesville, 40 in Carrollton, 47 in Atlanta. Upper 40s, Athens, Covington, Griffin. Could see the clouds linger just a little bit along and south of the I-85 corridor. So that's why it's a little warmer. Where it's clearer, kind of like this morning, will be a little bit colder up into the mountains. Even that difference notable here across the immediate metro. Notice McDonough, Forest Park, Redan, mid-40s. You get up to North Cobb, a little clearer, colder. Kennesaw is at 40. Roswell, probably Alfred and Milton, lower 40s. 44 Sugar Hill and Beaufort. Douglasville, 42, so a chilly start. Rocky, though, this particular photo, obviously no chill as a match for Rocky. It is absolutely frigid in that photo, and tomorrow morning, not too bad. I think just a light jacket, upper 40s to near 50 inside the perimeter, 30s up in the mountains. You may want that winter coat if you're out up in Blue Ridge, Helen, LJ, Ivy Log, Clayton Community, Rabun County, those areas. If you're out early in the morning, tomorrow will be a little colder, so you might want that heavier winter coat or jacket. Temperatures do rebound nicely, though, into tomorrow afternoon. Will be in the upper 60s and lower 70s. 70 Atlanta, Gainesville 67, Athens 69, Rome 72, 71 in Noonan, so maybe a degree or 3 warmer than today. Hour by hour, notice how we do have the clouds Tuesday afternoon, but no rain. A bit of a different story as we get into early Wednesday morning. First few showers developing, and I think that rain becomes much more widespread through the morning. Initially, mountains of North Georgia, but we'll have to watch. May see some heavier downpours develop along the I-20 corridor, impacting, at least according to this forecast model, much of metro Atlanta. Now, the exact details as to exactly when rain starts in your neighborhood, or if your neighborhood even sees the most substantial rain, still a little bit up in the air, no pun intended here. This is a pretty complicated setup. We have a window of opportunity between Wednesday morning and Sunday morning or so with in which there will be a few different rounds of rain. So nailing down the exact timing, onset, and departure of the rain, and exactly who sees the most rain, we're going to be working out the details here. Kind of a complicated setup. Just know that first rain chance begins Wednesday. And in the first alert forecast, temperatures remain a little bit cooler than average, upper 60s to near 70 Wednesday, Thursday, with a little bit of a drier scenario Friday, mid-70s, upper 70s Saturday. And then the front moves through and cooler air filters in. May have to bump up that Sunday rain chance. Again, we're going to be fine-tuning the timing here as new data comes in. As we get more confidence, we'll pass along those updates to you on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Right here, streaming Atlanta News First weather app, and the First Alert weather app, I should say, and the Atlanta News First app as well. Does look like at the latest we'll clear out Sunday afternoon and early next week. About this time next week, it could be gorgeous with nice weather, dry weather, sunshine back in the First Alert forecast. Again, I want to thank you all for watching Atlanta News First Plus, ANF Plus. Thanks for tuning in and for checking in. Doesn't look like too many folks have too many weather questions, comments, concerns. So I'll go back through the feeds here and answer any that may have been unaddressed. Thank you for tuning in and for watching. We'll leave you with a live look at been a beautiful shot of Centennial Olympic Park. Enjoy the sunshine, the clear sky now. Clouds arrive tomorrow. Rain back in the forecast Wednesday.